afternoon from a very, very windy Thorpe Park. First of all, where is it? There she is. How magnificent that looks in person. Heard about it, seen videos, seen pictures. Nothing does it justice like coming and seeing it for yourself compared to everything around it. We are here a bit late in the afternoon. We've got about 2 and a bit hours until park closes because I've booked myself onto one of the behind the scenes tours of Thor the Ride. So I thought I'd come in and check out some of the Sparkle Project stuff. Maybe a touch of Mardi Gras, check out Big Easy Boulevard and do maybe a ride or two. So let's head in. Okay, a bit of voiceover magic because it was an incredibly windy day. So talking in the park wasn't going to give us the best results. Having a quick look in the shop here. Lots of new magnets, new pins. All the merch is looking really great. Merlin has really stepped up their merch game over the last couple of years, especially at Old Towers, but in the Thorpe Park, it's looking great. Ride availability was quite limited over the day because of the high winds, because of the storm. So the most stable rides were kind of Quantum, Rush, Stealth in terms of thrills, and not Ghost Train, The Walking Dead. So here we are walking through, absolutely dying over seeing Hyperia that close up. Nearly finished with Sunrise repaint. Looks like I did have a bit to say there actually in terms of Samurai, but no, all the repainting is looking fantastic. Colossus is looking nice and clean. So good that we're finally getting Slammer getting rid of. That was one of my favourite rides in the park when it was open, but it's just been a really sad sight to look at. Continuing walking around, enjoying the new food options available. Might have to try that another time. What do you guys think about these resins? I've never been much of a resin person. I think they look quite nice. And here's Tidal Wave. I love the opening of the view now that they've upgraded the bridge and they've gotten rid of those face painting and hair braid stands. Now for the main attraction of the Sparkle Project, the Big Easy Boulevard area, I think it looks absolutely fantastic. It provides a perfect set piece for the Mardi Gras event especially. We did end up trying some of the beignets, which were quite nice, a little overcooked in my opinion, but they were nice. Not too well priced, but they were alright. And we saw Ready Player One, so we were just having a look at the little Easter eggs in the windows. The Pirates A4D Bullhoons before making our way over to Stealth after getting out of Ready Player One. Here's some singing. I really appreciate that they have lots of bits of entertainment floating around. However, I think that singing stage really bottlenecks traffic going towards Nemesis Inferno, unfortunately. So, as you can see at this point, Nemesis Inferno is running, the wind was slowing down a bit, and Detonator was closed all day. There were some rides that just didn't open. I think Colossus might have run around maybe twice, but due to the winds, most of the attractions were closed. Stealth, however, was open all day. Man, absolutely thirsty. Even though I wasn't at the park the whole all day, I was keeping an eye on queue time, seeing whether it was worth coming earlier to get lots of rides in, and I think more of the rides had started to open than it picked up by the time that I left the house to go. So most of the rides had kind of closed again, apart from a few runs of Stealth and Nemesis Inferno going around at times. And here we are about to get a nice walk on Nemesis Inferno. We caught it just as it was reopening right at the end of the day, with about 20 minutes or so until the park closed. Shop's looking great. I'm about to talk in minutes, I need to keep it quick. I just hope they do something with that corner where they've removed the slide, maybe a nice prop or a display piece to celebrate Nemesis Inferno. Maybe its 21st birthday would be nice. And that is it for the main part of the day. We went into Ready Player One 4D experience. I was okay. It's nice that they changed it and they have something new. If you've not seen the film, don't watch it, spoils the beginning of the film. And then we managed to get a walk on Stealth, one of my besties. Then, because it was so short of a queue, went around for a quick 10-minute queue to get on again. And then a very quick walk on Nemesis Inferno for her 21st birthday. So it is now 6 o'clock, all the queues are closing, which means it's time for me to go back to the entrance, chill out for a couple of minutes, and then make my way over to my behind the scenes tour, which I'm very excited for. Overall, the park's looking great. It's probably better looking than it's looked in many, many years. Colossus looks fantastic. Just walking past Colossus now, looking absolutely amazing. So bright, so clean. So many of the areas have had little tidy ups, and it's a very promising start for tidying up Thorpe Park to make it a truly enjoyable place to be, which it started becoming over the last year or two, but for me personally, it wasn't the most fun day out, despite the fact that it has amazing rides, because it was just so underlooked after. So it's feeling good now. Hopefully they can keep up this Sparkle project for another few years to come, I think, before we're in a really good place. But I think if they keep up for a few years, we'll be in a good place. So I'm going to start off my review by saying I wish it was easier to find. Instructions had to go through the hotel after hours gate and find reception, and the security guard didn't know where it was until he got help. But aside from that, had a really positive time. We start with a presentation. We were allowed to take as many photos during the tour as we liked, but they did ask that we just didn't take videos. So here we are looking at some concept art, looking for concept art of the trains and the tracks and the backstory, and them trying to promote the idea of Saw the ride as an option for the park. After that, we started making our way over to the ride. We took a nice way around, tried to take some pictures with my bestie Stealth, but the hair was constantly being battled by the wind, but got some nice kind of golden hour style shots on the way, and of course taking a bit of time to admire the beauty that is Hyperia. So we entered through the queue line of Saw the Ride. Here I am being a little goofy, before we made our way over to a restricted area, kind of between the bunny hill and the dive loop, next to Hyperia, where you can get some fantastic shots of Hyperia that you will not be able to get unless you go on this behind the scenes tour. Saw lots of trees that they're about to plant, got some great pictures of this turn. You can find a lot of pictures on my Instagram, which I'll link in the description below, but an absolutely fantastic way to see some different angles of Hyperia. Before we walked back over a bridge, where we had a look at the lift hill close up, and we had a little peek into the engineering shed, which we got to go into later. Seeing lots of the stuff that's kind of hidden out of guests' view, like these transport pieces, and being able to actually have a moment to admire the on-screen props, as well as this head in a box, which I never noticed before, which is just behind the rack trap. We made our way up to the station, which was fully lit, where we got to spend a bit of time milling about, looking at the cars, looking at the props and the detail, before we were allowed into the baggage hold, where the guy was kind enough to take pictures of us if we wanted to. I got to live my kind of vicarious dream. What would it look like if I worked at Thorpe Park? After that, we stepped over one of the cars onto the other side, where the employees, the ride ops go. We were allowed into the ride op cabin, which was so interesting for an enthusiast like myself, but we were not allowed to even take pictures inside of there. After that, we headed down the stairs, down the ride area, to have a look into the engineering shed. We weren't actually allowed in because of footwear, but the guys were kind enough to open extra doors for us to look in at a car being worked on. And then here we are under the track in the station. We got to have a look at the the wheel assemblies and the brakes and tyres from underneath. After that, we had a look at the first drop, the indoor drop, which is surprisingly large and steep. I actually didn't know that it went slightly below ground level. And of course, because of the lighting, I had no idea that they kept stuff stored at random parts in the ride. So they have stuff stored behind this drop, and also behind the second drop after the air cannons. There is maintenance stuff stored for each of the cars. And so, of course, we got to write our names on the track with our fingers. It's a little bit greasy, a little dusty, but that was fun. Got to plug the channel a little before we made our way to the iconic barrel roll over the bathroom scene. I hadn't noticed, actually, that this guy had been painted to have pants and a shirt, which he never used to have when the ride first opened, and I never seen that foot before because you are zooming on way too fast, but that's a nice little detail. We got to disturb the pigeons' homes and go a little bit closer to the exit way, where we could see Samurai actually testing after hours with its lights on, which is really cool. It's an incredibly noisy ride, actually, when it's running without any guests screaming on. The tour guide was then kind enough to take pictures with the corpse, and we went to the final break area of Saw before making our way out. We got to admire the mannequins and the Billy puppet up nice and close. The tour guide was absolutely fantastic. He was really knowledgeable and enthusiastic and made the experience really positive. There's just a small group of 6 of us. And then we made our way out, going back to the entrance. We got to admire Hyperia. We saw the security guards outside Hyperia, and the dog was barking at us, and got a little sneaky view inside the station. You can see that wing, so it was lit up. They must have been working inside there at night. And yeah, had a really fantastic experience, and I would recommend it to any enthusiast out there. And yeah, how fantastic does Hyperia look at night? Really cannot wait for that ride to open. So, final thoughts. I thought it was a brilliant experience for any enthusiast to go on a behind-the-scenes tour. I'm definitely looking forward to booking either another behind-the-scenes tour or a coaster climb. If you'd like to see more of the pictures in, I guess, high quality or just still, you can go and find them on my Instagram. And thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again in another video. Bye-bye.